Never thought I'd be this guy, Brevin. I never, because I never believed it to be true. But the lottery's rigged, man, right?
I'm not going with that narrative. I just had to have this back and forth with my brothers on by text last night. I am not revisiting this crazy ass notion again that
No.
this was all a plan by the league. To number one, you needed a star to be in LA to replace LeBron James. So you know what? Let's orchestrate. We're gonna get Luca to LA. Hey Nico, you're gonna have to take a little heat for some time, but we
Yeah.
got you. We got your
Gotcha.
back.
Yep.
We're gonna get you the number one draft. We're gonna get you the number one pick in the draft. That means you'll get Cooper Flag to go along with your team. Now you'll get the fans, the excitement will be back. You'll be able to sell those tickets that y'all raised prices on. And now look at there. And that was the back of the house talk, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I mean, what else could it be? Really?
I mean,
So
well, how did we
I,
get John Morant?
we got very lucky. Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
why didn't Dallas get it? They just got one pick, one slot higher than we got. Better.
they were, what was it, 1.8%
1.8.
chance?
I don't know what our chances were because I think we were supposed to be a 8 or 9 seed. We're supposed to get an 8 or 9 pick
Yeah.
in that John Morant draft.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get a. They were slotted to be at. Then when they did all of the mock stuff, somehow they were at 11. I don't know if there was some trade deals that put them at that point. So it might have been a bigger jump between the two, but I mean it. That's why I said, all right, things happen sometimes.
So Dallas gets Dallas, a team that was in the NBA Finals a year ago, made arguably the dumbest trade in NBA history.
Now, no, they didn't. You thought they
Arguably,
did.
arguably dumbest trade in NBA history. And now they get the number one pick in the draft. It's unbelievable. And oh, and by the way, the San Antonio Spurs got the number 2 pick. Now, what? How did that?
They went. They have the number four. The last 3 years will be. This will be number two. They had number one last year. I think Castle was like the number four pick in the draft. I mean, you start to
Jeez.
say, at some point in time, you have to start to be good again.
Yeah, they got 2 and 14. So you would think that could help. Uh, oh, and then the Sixers, they get 3. It's this team with Paul George and Joel Embiid just got the number 3 pick in the draft. That's
Mm.
unbelievable. Oh, and then the Hornets. There's the Hornets. There's one of the teams at the bottom. Hornets come in at number 4.
They
Wow.
needed the number one. Out of the last four teams, they were the glaring team that needed the number one pick, and they got the fourth pick. But I guess for them it'll be somewhat, and like when we talked about, you get guys back from injury, they'll be excited to get Miller back from injury. That'll be a sort of a boost for them. And
Yeah.
then it's just that they're kind of in that same boat as with us in terms of how the more that LaMelo Ball plays, the better that they are.
Yeah.
It's just so it'll be interesting to see who goes where at what time, and if there are any other big trades that happen.
Right. Right. All right. Welcome to the show. This is Night Court. Thank you for joining us. We are on location, separate locations here today for the program, or this week for the show. Glad you're with us. If you're watching, you can always watch on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. And if you're not watching and listening, we thank you for listening as well, wherever you get your podcasts. You can catch us on Twitter as well, at The Fish Nation and at Brevin Knight 22. All right, I got some stuff to clean up from the last couple of weeks. Clean up or follow up. Clean up or follow up is this next segment. Number one, Greg Popovich. I mentioned, and I was kind of a smart aleck when I said, just Google it to the people. when I talked about how many coaches have been hired since Greg Popovich was hired with the San Antonio Spurs. So you know what I did? I Googled it.
What'd you come up with?
The number is 315. 315 coaches have been hired since Pop was hired as a coach. The Grizz had 15 coaches, including Lionel Hollins 3 times. 4 coaches in Vancouver. So 15 different coaches hired. Lionel 3 times. How about that?
That is the definition of longevity. It's like when there's that many different people have come and gone, and during your tenure and in this game, it also speaks volumes to how good you are at what you do, and then how receptive the players were to accept his coaching year in and year out. And so, but it also is indicative of how good their entire organization has been for such a long time with their level of consistency.
I thought when the big, what was it, 3? They have big 3, big 4, whatever they had in their run and their heyday. I thought when they were done, Pop would be done. I thought he'd say, I've achieved everything. There's nothing else for me to do. I'm done. And I thought it was pretty amazing the job that he did with the transition into younger players. Yes. Because, this was something that he hadn't had to do for 15 years, and how was he going to transition into that? And I thought he did a heck of a job all the way up until the end that we saw him coaching for the Spurs. You always knew what you're going to get when you're playing in San Antonio.
Listen, he adapted to the game and to the players that they were getting, increased the pace of play, allowed them to not be so systematic and play a little freer. And so, listen, he adapted when he had to adapt.
Yeah. All right. Another thing to clear up and to clean up. I did not have to stand in line for 7 hours to get an ID.
Hey, how long?
I went to a kiosk, renewed my driver's license, got one to work, took the picture, the whole deal. So I'm going to get a new driver's license here in the next couple of weeks, which is good. I have a paper ID right now, but at least I'm legal.
But you don't have a real ID.
Not yet. But I did make an appointment in August to get a real ID. It was the first one available, dude.
Well, I need this real ID because in May you guys will start changing. Well, our next appointment is in August.
Right. I was like, that's good with me. I'm not flying anywhere between now and August. I hope not. If so, I got my passport. I'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'll be fine. All right.
Did you get your plate? Did you get your plates also?
No, I haven't done that yet. I'm still riding with the email that says that I paid for them and I'm supposed to have
them. So if they pull you over for the plates, you literally just going to take out the phone and be like,
no, I printed them out. I can just give them out of the glove box. I have it printed out. It says here's my transaction, the receipt for it. And hopefully they'll let me go. Now, the question I have to ask myself, the important question is, how long can I go before I need to go get my tags? Like a month? Can I go a full month?
You can go as long as you go without getting pulled over. Is how long you can go.
Well,
so as long as you ain't getting pulled over, you can keep riding until you inside yourself are like, I'm just gonna go down here and get these plates.
Yeah. All right. So there's an update there. And then to go back to something that we talked about in the open of the show a couple of weeks ago, things that we hate to see. We talked about it after Damian Lillard, the Achilles injury,
Uh-huh.
and Jason Tatum falls victim to another Achilles injury and another serious injury this postseason.
I mean, it was, as soon as it happened, and then they showed the replay. You didn't, I mean, I hadn't really seen it in the moment because they just started to follow the ball. But when they
Right.
showed the replay, you knew exactly what it was, and you feel so bad because you number one, you never like to see anybody have that type of injury, and knowing how long it's going to take for you to get back. And then secondly, it was he was having a good game, putting his team in a position to make the comeback to be able to tie the series, and then he goes down, and then Boston can't even sniff scoring, making another basket, and New York continues on their run. And so it's you hate to see it, especially, and then you hate to see it at this time of the season because at this time you want to see all teams be at full strength as best possible, so that you see the best of all teams.
Yeah. And it's, and I know our friend Jessica Benson was talking about it today on her show. That's over on Grind City Media, where I do a podcast called The Odds Couple over on Grind City Media. You can
This
also
is
catch the Jessica Benson show with CJ Hurt each and every morning. Um,
just drop a dollar from now on. Every spot, man, costs a dollar.
we need like a cha-ching sound. We need a
Yeah,
sounder every
exactly.
time I do it. Yeah.
I
Um,
gotta we gotta get that.
Jessica was saying basically she thinks it's a problem the NBA needs to address because the last couple of years we have seen too many impact star players who have gone down during the postseason.
Well, as long as you're not telling me that the remedy is to play less games, then I am all
It's
for.
really the only remedy, right?
No, that's not a remedy. It's not gonna make it any better to play less games. To say that guys are gonna. I mean, it's unfortunate that this happened to those two guys, and being especially the visibility of both guys. But I'm always going to say injuries are a part of the game, and when you start trying to do things uh, to just to mitigate injury as if you're going to stop it, the moment somebody figures that out, then everybody will be doing it, and everybody will play all the time. That has not happened, and it never
Well,
will happen because injuries are just part of they're part of sports. It's part of sports in general that
yeah,
people gonna get injured.
yeah, and it's something that I think teams. I wish teams would look at and say, in the regular season, doing load management with guys and giving guys nights off. What's it matter? It could happen at any time. It could happen in practice. I mean, Jaws, one of his major injuries happened in practice. When it finally gave out.
Right.
Um, and I imagine in Achilles, no one really knows why it happens, when it happens, but I
If we
would I
know
would
what
assume there's a
happened,
lot of miles on you when your Achilles goes.
right? But I mean, Bridges plays every game, has played every game his entire NBA career, hasn't
Yeah.
blown out his Achilles.
No.
You see what I'm saying? And has played heavy minutes in those years of being in the league. So why hasn't he blown his Achilles? Why hasn't he done? I mean, it's just his physically he does the things to keep himself in good enough shape, and there's been a high level of luck to go along with it.
Right.
That's just what it is. There is no way for you to stop or slow down injuries. The only reason you're doing it is because you're just not playing at all. Like that's the only way that you're telling me we're saving him from getting an injury, him or her from getting injured. Yeah, I was like, yeah, because they're just not playing in the game at all. Then yeah, then Of course, they're not going to get injured,
Right.
but it's just I leave it as it is highly unfortunate the
Oh yeah.
timing that it happened.
No doubt about it. And it's rough for the Boston Celtics, who trail the New York Knicks 3-1. One of my takeaways from the series is that watching Mitchell Robinson shoot free throws is painful.
Here's the thing, Roberto. He has a really nice pre-shot routine.
Right.
He does this.
Yeah.
Yeah, up, arm extends, he lets it go. And then when he shoots the ball, he goes like this. It's like it's like this. It's like there's something that's a ceiling that's like can't go no further. You got to
Right.
shoot. You literally was just doing this 2 times,
Yeah.
holding the ball right here and doing this, and then goes. It's like, but you're not doing what you
What you were doing.
what you air practiced. You didn't do that. It's like me on my golf swing. Like on my golf swing, I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that feels good. And then you get to the ball, it's like, well, why the hell did you just do that?
Right. Exactly.
And
Oh, the
then,
practice swings are always the best.
yeah, you look at yourself like, these are the same damn hands that was just doing the other. So then why you just didn't do that same thing? That's
Right.
just free throws.
The Knicks, suddenly the favorite in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are the favorite in the Eastern Conference right now. They've been relentless against the Boston Celtics.
When they've had opportunities, they made the most of it, and then they've been physical. They've contested threes. They understand what shots that Boston wants to get on the offensive end. And then I think another part though is Boston has helped them during these runs because they become a lot more one-on-one oriented. They're not moving as much on the offensive end, and then they're not making those shots. Then New York has kept driving it down their throat, and then Jalen Brunson has just become one of the premier finishers in the game today. And so then he's got guys to give spurts throughout the game. And Anobi's been really good. Bridges has been good, especially in second halves of games. And that's on both ends. Towns has been spotty here and there. He's been able to give them some big minutes and playing games. And so and then Robinson on the offensive glass. There's just everybody, and then Josh Hart, can't leave him out with still being the heart and soul of their team. So it's like they have the guy who finishes the game. You just want to get them to that point, but they have a bunch of other guys who are capable of having big spurts at different points throughout the game.
Speaking of Mitchell Robinson, the hack of Mitchell Robinson or the hack of Steven Adams, we got to get that out of the game somehow. It's horrendous for the flow of a basketball game. Just terrible. And people watching are like, what just happened? Because they're fouling away from the ball and no one even knows what's going on. And then all of a sudden it's Steven Adams going to the free throw line. And you're like, oh, great. Steven Adams is at the free throw line. And he takes his 2 free throws, probably makes 1 of 2. And then the other team comes down and then they're fouling Steven Adams again. And you're like, this is really stupid. And then normally what happens is it turns out they make 1 of 2 every time. So you're getting 2 points every other time down the court, which is basically shooting 50%. I'll take it every single time, but it's terrible to watch, BK.
I want to argue with you, but you are exactly right. It is awful to watch.
Oh.
But the strategy of it is that how do I get this guy off of the floor? Because he does enough things that puts their team in a position to win. And for Mitchell Robinson, it's that doggone rebound.
Oh, yeah.
And his offensive rebounding is a problem for the Celtics. And so it's like, well, how can we get them out of the game, but also give them no offensive rhythm? So I mean, I understand it's what the play of it is for both sides, and I understand why you're doing it, and it's not a bad way to go about things. But on the other hand, as a fan watching the game, it definitely brings you to snore zone.
It's terrible. Knicks are going to win the series. They're going to beat Boston. and you're going to
You
have the
think?
top
You
two
think?
teams in the Eastern Conference out.
You think that it's over for Boston?
Yeah.
I think
Do you not?
I'm not gonna count them out just yet.
Uh,
Not just yet. Not just yet. I think what you're going to what we'll see in uh game 5 is we'll see them be a lot more moving of the ball to get good shots throughout the game because they don't have enough for just a one-on-one to try to break down. That's what make the Knicks good. Because
yeah.
when you just try to keep playing one-on-one and break individually, they got guys that dig in. But you gotta make them move. I think they'll move uh, a lot better to put themselves in a position to pressure the Knicks in these closeout games.
Right. I think it's too big of a hole to climb out of. So I think that I mean, the game Tatum was having, even if they were going to lose that game, I thought game 5 in Boston, Tatum, coming off that sort of game and expecting a big game from Jaylen Brown as well. And then, they win game 5. And then all of a sudden it's game 6. All the pressure's on the Knicks. And it's like, well, maybe, they could come back. But now I just think with Tatum out, that's just,
They need a
such a
big Drew Holiday.
deflator.
They need a big Drew Holiday game, like
Yeah.
like a like a scoring how Caruso was against us,
Uh,
but with more of the scoring. But like on the defensive side, create a little more havoc. But offensively though, he's not an offensive slouch. And I think with that move of the ball, you see other guys, well, they'll have to step up because he's out, but they'll be able to step up. It
yeah.
won't be easy.
No. All right. Indiana, they've advanced. They knock off the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Uh, my guy there is, I guess we shouldn't forget Pascal Siakam. He's a pretty good player.
He's pretty good, and that doggone Halliburton for everybody want to say the most overrated player in the NBA.
Yes.
Ain't nobody saying that now.
He is an NBA Cup, Emirates Cup guy.
He is. Listen, when the stakes are when it's on the table, and they're high, he steps up and plays well. But Nimhart has been really good for them. Again, these teams where they have the other guys be able to have really big momentum plays in games, really big swings, shots. And Nimhart, Halliburton will get all of the credit for end of the game heroics, but Nimhart is right behind him in the shots that he's been able to make.
I think that was me. Was that me?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
you.
look.
It was you.
Okay. All right. I just
That was
wanted to look.
definitely you. Yeah, but
All
no.
right.
So yeah, no. It's been a team effort. It's been a team effort for them in Indiana, and they continue to play. Remember, everybody's like, you get to the playoffs, you got to slow down. Not them. They
Mm-mm.
have not. They have not slowed down at all.
Indiana and the Knicks. Who knew? Nobody.
That's an old school. That's old school basketball there. That's taking it back to uh you talking about those Reggie Miller Pacer teams
Yeah.
playing against those New York Knicks teams. I wonder who would have been with the Knicks at that time. Because
Yeah.
it throws you off is that Mark
With
Jackson.
Starks?
Yeah, but it throws you off because Mark Jackson was with both teams.
Oh yeah.
Like, and, but I think he would have been in. Don't get me to lie. Which one he was in first? I think he was in Indiana first or New York first. One or the other. But those were good matchups.
Yeah, no doubt. You can't handle the truth. Famous Mark Jackson line going to break. It's terrible. All right, we got Minnesota 3-1 on Golden State. My goodness.
So
This Jade McDaniels kid, he's good.
he's really good.
Yeah,
He's,
little
I mean,
defensive scrapper.
well, and he's always been that. It's just the offensive book has been open for him. The green light has been given to him to be more aggressive offensively, and he has been fantastic. And the thing for Golden State is this is now Golden State before they got Jimmy Butler. That's all this team is they were when they were struggling, when it was just Steph Curry and Draymond Green. Now it's just down to just Jimmy Butler, who is not even as offensive minded as Steph Curry is, and the willingness to take the amount of shots that you got to take to maybe get yourself going. And so it's they don't have enough to beat the Timberwolves unless the Timberwolves just make some bozo plays that
Yeah.
allow them to stay in games.
As we are recording the show, Denver and Oklahoma City are playing. It was close, but Denver now has opened it up a little bit, but it's still only the third quarter. That series tied at 2. Felt like Oklahoma City was going to take or took back control of the series in game 4. But at least from what we've seen so far here in game 5, maybe not so much.
I think for this series, these teams are so closely matched, and that every game is its own game. So no matter you take some, of course, you take some keys and some pointers away from what happened in the previous game, but that next game is going to be its own entity. Like there's a multitude of things that could happen because both teams are as dynamic as they are. And so it's just a matter of going out and who is going to be able to execute the best, maximize what they do better over minimizing the things that they are not good at. And so if that can happen, then that either team on any given night, they have a chance of winning.
Aaron Gordon's good, huh?
Hey, he's made them. That's their big three. That's their big three. I mean, he's another guy. Like people forget in Orlando, he was one of the more dynamic players because he had that ultra green light. He
Mm-hmm.
could do shoot whatever shot he wanted to shoot, use your athleticism. Then he goes to Denver. He had the adjustment period for the first season when he was there. And then from there, the threes have not started to fall, and that's just gotten better and better. But then it's because of the way that Jokic passes, his movement away from the ball to be in different areas to score has put him in a position to be successful. And so I think it's just a perfect situation, and it was something that Murray and Jokic needed. They needed another person who could give them big numbers,
Yeah.
and he's been that.
And Alex Caruso has been really good. Hate to say it because he annoyed the hell out of us.
I mean, he's there, kind of our John. He's there, John Conchar, just uh, probably just a little bit more his ability to do a little bit more on the offensive end,
Yeah.
but he's that type disruptor.
Um. All right. What else we got before we run out of time here? Oh, not only does the hack player thing need to be eliminated. Here's another. Here's another thing. I want to sit down, and I'd like to know this. Maybe have a conversation with our friend Zach Zarba or something. But I need to figure out what is a legal screen and what is an
Oh,
illegal screen. I mean, my God, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't. I don't think it shouldn't be. If the dude goes down, it's a foul
one
because
hundred percent.
because too often that's what it feels like it is. And I mean, okay, the little elbow in. Okay, we're calling it. All right. Well, let's call that every time then. Let's call that every time. But what the hell? I don't know what I'm watching because crap go all night, and then all of a sudden they'll just get a guy for an illegal screen when it was nothing, didn't even affect the play.
Yeah, well, the other one that I always question is the two-hand one when Big set the screen with their hands out this way. That one. And then if you're gonna let the little, because what Bigs will try to do is sometimes they get the little lean up top, but a lot of time the lean is in the hips. So it's like they just stick the hip out just a little bit so
Right.
that you nick them enough to give the guard enough time to get by. And so it's just one of those things where you just would like to know if it's going to be called or it's not going to be called, and then you adjust from there. But the timing sometimes is like you can't, bro. You let it go for all of this time, and now this guy all of a sudden hits me and then takes this spinning fall 10 feet away from me when all I was
Right.
doing was standing here. Like, I understand the leg outside of the width of your shoulder. Guys try to,
Mm.
like that. At least I understand that one. Like, I can see, and everybody sees that one. But
Yeah.
those little, the subtlety, those subtle ones, the timing sometimes, as you said, is what hurts you.
Terrible. Terrible. All right. Draymond Green this week said the agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous. Your thoughts?
Well, I think the thing for he also talked about he's intelligent, he knows what he's a great family man, all of these different things, and for me, it's like you can be two things in one person. So he
Yeah.
is intelligent. You are a great family man, but you do some crazy things on the floor. So I'm not. I'm not going. I'm not going to call you. You don't have to be the angry black man, but you are the guy who has some dirty plays on the floor, but then you are a guy who is intelligent, takes care of your family. You do all those things? It's
Yeah.
just it is they don't translate. There's such two things that are total opposites to one another. Where that's where you scratch your head at like why are you doing like you're this and this in this good category, but then how when you start to compete do you go to this entirely other end of the spectrum? So he can feel as though people are portraying him in that way, and if he felt that way, then hey, you stand up and for yourself and you make that statement. I got nothing to say about that. Give you a pound on the back. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is you're still two things in one person, which
Yes.
is wild man, wild, great basketball player. Oh, that's the other thing. He said he's a great basketball player. But you take away from that with the other antics that go on the floor.
Yeah. Where's Giannis gonna go?
I thought he was going to Memphis.
Oh yeah?
I thought that's where he's coming to.
What's the deal?
He enjoys. He doesn't mind a small market. He's played in one already, and I think he would really enjoy playing with John Morant.
Greek Fest was this past weekend.
He might have been around. I saw him just.
Maybe.
I saw a video. I saw a video of him walking the streets of New York City. Just him. Is it like it was just him, his wife, like maybe a couple other family members, but it wasn't a bunch of like security people.
Yeah.
It was almost a little bit weird to see him. No, seriously, because nowadays you don't see anybody of that. Man, it's
Of
nothing
that
wrong with it.
stature.
Any entertainer, athlete, anybody that is a visible, because these freaking streamers or whoever they're just as big as anything
Right.
nowadays, and so you never see them without some type of security with them, and it looked like it was just them out there walking. So yeah, so I don't think he would. I don't think he would mind going to another small market that has
Uh,
John Morant on the team.
that's kind of cool. How about not San Antonio? Wouldn't that be neat?
Bro, if he goes to San Antonio, man, I quit. Then I'm gonna say that there's no. Then I'm going to be like, yeah, something is fishy.
Something's wrong here with this lottery. Yeah, no kidding. Thank God. And all I could do when I saw the results of the lottery is just all I could say to myself was, thank God we're not in it because getting screwed in the lottery just would feel miserable.
Because
In
you're
the
already in the lottery. Like you're already there.
yeah, right.
If you're not if it's not a trade situation that puts you there, if you're a team that didn't have a good year
Right,
and you're
right,
there.
yeah, and then you get screwed in that. Oh, it's terrible. All right,
Because of the backdoor deal that they had going
the,
from the
cons-
season.
the it's rigged, yeah, and what's amazing about how it's rigged is how many people are involved in this conspiracy. Um, all the media, the front office people who have watched the ping pong balls come out, the guy who does the ping pong balls, Ernst and Young people, all of them, all
But
of them are in
so they
on it.
they put a little weight in it, like the little weighted dice. These people should roll those dice, and then if you get caught, then bad things will happen to you. So
It's the
maybe
most
they put a little
well
something in the
worded,
ball.
most well worded NDA you'll ever see. The meeting last night went, hey, everybody, we're going to give it to the Mavericks, right? Don't we feel bad? Don't we feel bad for the Mavericks, everybody? All right, good. Mavs? All right, good. And everybody left the room, signed their NDAs. What happened in there? Oh, the ping pong balls. Oh, blah. That's how it goes down. That's how it goes down. Hockey. Have you watched any hockey?
I've watched very little hockey. Here
Okay.
and there, though. Here and
All
there.
right. Do you have a team? Do you prefer a team?
Yeah, I like the Devils.
Oh, yeah? Are they out? Are they still
They're
in?
out. No,
Yeah,
they're
they're
out.
out. Okay. I'm preferring the Edmonton Oilers, and they're on a roll. They're doing really well.
They just won. What, they have 3-1 now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're
I
up
saw
3-1.
that.
And then
Their outside party was not like Toronto's, or it was not like New York's. Everybody's doing that with the outside TV. The
right.
rain, I think, changed the amount of people that was at theirs. That they were just at the time that they showed. One of the times they showed, I was like, "Oh, they need to go get more people to tell them to come before they show them on the camera."
Oh, yeah. All I could think about in the New York party was, oh my God, how would we get the bus out of there?
Oh, the bus would not. And if we would have won, trying to get the bus out would have been hell.
Oh, no
Like
kidding.
those people would have been they would have been surrounding the bus as we were trying to leave.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be miserable. That's where those people are. All right, one other thing. Pete Rose, now not on the ineligible list anymore. He's now eligible for the Hall of Fame. He's not on the banned list anymore for Major League Baseball. Um, I understand people who say that Pete Rose shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because of the rules that he broke, and I understand that. It is the number one rule in baseball. It's in every clubhouse, from minor leagues to major leagues. You see it every day that you walk in, and Pete Rose has walked into a clubhouse more than anybody probably ever did. But if he has a chance to be in the Hall of Fame, I hope he gets in. I hope he is voted in and gets into the Hall of Fame, because his credentials as a player are one of the greatest stories in Major League Baseball. And to me, the Hall of Fame should be the Hall of Fame should be the history of the game, the story of the history of the game. And to not have Pete Rose involved, I think would be a shame. I think to have the steroids guys not involved. You can't tell the history of baseball without telling the story of the steroid era. You just can't. I
Right,
mean, some of the greatest
right.
players who ever lived. Barry Bonds is the greatest player I've ever seen play, ever.
Yeah, you can't
Before
talk.
steroids or after steroids, it didn't matter.
Yeah, you're not going to just leave those people out, and they influenced wins in the fashion that they did. So
Yeah.
but no, I hope that I'm with you. I hope that he gets that consideration, especially where gambling is today. I mean, it's like it's we do it. We talk about it and promote it freaking throughout the entirety of games now. Like
Yeah. It was a lifetime ban. The man is dead. I mean, put him in the Hall of Fame. I think he paid his dues for the mistakes that he made. I think he paid for them.
And here's the other thing is he'll be paying, even if he gets in, he still be paying for it because he still won't be able to give a speech, get the award, or do anything of that nature. It'll just be family members, whatever generations may be there, that get to experience it.
Yeah. All right. I have a toast. Do you have a toast?
I don't have one.
My toast is to Cooper Flagg. Toast to Cooper Flagg because he could have been a wizard. He could have been a Hornet, no disrespect. I mean, he could have been with a miserable team. And he's with a team that was he's the number one pick, a generational talent, and he's going to a team that was in the NBA Finals last year. My God.
How about this?
That's a lottery. Man just hit the lottery.
And could arguably be fighting for a starting spot.
I mean, cool. He could start for the Wizards, too. Yay. So good for Cooper Flagg. Happy for him. That's awesome. All right, that's going to do it for us. There's a time up on the screen, but it's so little that I look like an old man. Like, watch. This is how I try to read it. Okay, you ready? And I still can't see it.
I love when the old folks do this with the glasses. Why in the hell are you squinting with glasses? That defeats the entire purpose of the glasses. When you have on glasses to be like,
yeah. So I don't know how long. I think from here it looks like we may have gone like over 40 minutes. I apologize for that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. All right. But that's going to do it for us. And we thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening wherever you catch your podcasts. Also, you can watch the podcast each and every week on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Brevin's on Twitter at BrevinKnight22. I'm on Twitter at The Fish Nation. For BK, I'm Fish. Thanks for watching Night Court. We'll do it again next week.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Night Court podcast. If you enjoyed Rob and Brevin, hit that like button, subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube channel, and enjoy the content. We will see you back here next time.